What's up guys, Jason here. In this video I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple and efficient automatic Minecraft Bedrock mob and XP farm. This farm works on 1.21 and on all platforms of Minecraft Bedrock, whether you play on a phone, tablet, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, or PC. As you guys can see here, this farm quickly produces a ton of loot. It also produces a lot of XP. By the way, the materials list for this farm is in the description. The first step is to choose an area to make this farm at. I recommend you make this farm over an ocean, however it's fine if you make it over land. By the way, make sure you don't make this farm in a river biome. That is because mobs won't spawn in river biomes. If you choose to make this farm over land, first build up at least 130 blocks above land. If you choose to make this farm over an ocean, first go at least 130 blocks away from any land. Once you are at least 130 blocks away from any land, go down to the ocean floor. Then place solid blocks from the ocean floor to the ocean surface. By the way, you can use any type of solid block. A couple examples of solid blocks are smooth stone or cobblestone. After you're done with that step, build up 130 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you're done placing those 130 blocks, go back down here. Then place ladders from here to the top of this pillar. These ladders will allow you to easily access the farm. By the way, the reason why we're making this farm high in the air is to prevent mobs from spawning below the farm while you use it. That will cause more mobs to spawn in the farm. After you are done placing those ladders, place a solid block over here and 2 solid blocks over here. Then place 5 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now fill in the outline with solid blocks. Once you have created that platform, break these 4 blocks. Then place 2 hay bales over here, and 2 hay bales over here. Those hay bales will help prevent mobs from dying of fall damage. The next step is to place a piston at each of these spots. Make sure those pistons face the correct directions. Now place a redstone torch at each of these spots. After you have placed those redstone torches, place an observer over here. Make sure the top arrow of that observer is facing that way towards that piston. Then place an observer at the spot. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that way. Now place an observer over here. Make sure the top arrow of that observer is facing towards that piston. Finally, place an observer at the spot. The top arrow of that observer should be facing that way. It's really important that you place all your pistons, redstone torches, and observers correctly. The next step is to place 4 solid blocks over here, 3 over here, and 3 on this side as well. Now throw a trident at that piston. By the way, the trident can have any level of durability because it will never break in this farm. Then place a lever over here and flick it down. Once those pistons stop moving, flick it up. As you guys can see there, that should cause those pistons to move around infinitely. That will be the trident killer in this farm. It will automatically kill all the mobs. Now flick this lever down to shut the trident killer off. The next step is to place 4 glass blocks over here. Then place a solid block at each of these spots. Once you have done that, go down here. Then count down 4 blocks from this spot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then place 2 blocks over here, and 4 blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now crouch down and place 2 chests at the spot. Then crouch down and place a hopper over here. Make sure the nozzle of that hopper is pointing downwards towards that chest. Then crouch down and place a rail on this hopper. By the way, it does not matter what direction the rail is facing. Then place a minecart with hopper at this spot. Make sure this minecart with hopper is directly under that hay bale. Then place a solid block at each of these spots. That will be the collection system in this farm. The minecart with hopper will collect all the loot from the mobs. The loot will then get transferred down by that hopper into that chest. The next step is to place a torch at each of these spots. Those torches will prevent mobs from spawning on those areas. The next step is to place a solid block at each of these spots. Then place 30 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. After you have placed those 30 blocks, go down here. Then place 30 blocks at each of these other spots as well. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. This will be the drop tube. The next step is to place a solid block at each of these spots. Now place 8 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then go to this spot. Then place 8 solid blocks over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At this point, fill in the outline with solid blocks. Once you're done creating that platform, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place 2 blocks over here. Then extend that 2-block high wall around this platform. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place 7 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then go over to this spot. Now place 7 solid blocks over here as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Once you have created that platform, fill it in with solid blocks. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place 3 solid blocks over here. 1, 2, 3. Then extend this solid block wall around this platform. By the way, do not place any blocks over here. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to go over here. Then count 2 blocks to the left of this spot. 1, 2. Then place 7 blocks over here. Then place 7 blocks over here as well. Now count 2 blocks to the left of this spot. 1, 2. Then place 7 blocks over here. Now place 7 blocks over here as well. At this point, continue placing blocks in that pattern until you get to that side. These walls will prevent spiders from spawning in this farm. After you're done creating those walls, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place scaffolding on the floor between each wall. Once you're done placing all that scaffolding, go over here. Then break these blocks. Now place 2 stairs over here. Now repeat placing stairs like that in those other rows. These stairs will be where water is placed. The next step is to repeat placing walls, scaffolding, and stairs on this side as well. This side should be exactly the same as the one next to it. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. As you guys can see here, this side is exactly the same as this side. The next step is to create an infinite water source. To do that, first go over here. Then place blocks in this formation. Now place water over here and water over here. By creating this infinite water source, you'll be able to use 2 buckets to fill in all the water for this entire farm. Now place water in each stair. As you guys can see there, the water should flow to the center trench. Each of these rows is where mobs will spawn. Mobs will spawn under the scaffolding, then get pushed by the water stream over to this trench. The next step is to place water at each of these spots. That water will push mobs into the kill chamber. These rows of scaffolding create the first mob spawning layer in this farm. The next step is to create another mob spawning layer. To do that, first fill in this area with solid blocks. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to break the center 2 rows of blocks. Make sure the 2 rows of blocks are perfectly aligned over that trench. Now create a 3-block high wall around this platform. After you're done with that step, create the inner walls, place the scaffolding, and place the stairs for this layer. This layer should be exactly like the one below it. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place water in all the stairs on this layer. After you're done placing that water, the farm should look like that. As you guys can see here, this second layer is exactly the same as the first layer. At this point, fill in and break the infinite water source. You will not need to place any more water in this farm. The next step is to fill in the roof. Once you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to cover the roof with slabs. These slabs will prevent mobs from spawning on the roof. That will cause more mobs to spawn in the farm. After you're done placing those slabs, place a solid block behind every stair. By doing this, you will prevent light from getting into the farm. That will make the farm dark so that mobs spawn even when it is daytime. Make sure to cover the stairs on both sides. After you are done placing a solid block behind every stair, place a slab on each of those blocks. These slabs will prevent mobs from spawning on this area. Make sure you place the slabs on both sides. After you're done with that step, the farm should look like that. The next step is to place 4 slabs over here. I am now going to do a quick fly around so you can check and make sure I've made this mob and XP farm correctly. Over here, there should be the trident killer and collection system. Over here, there should be the drop tube. The top of the farm should look like this. Finally, the mob spawning layer should look like this. By the way, it should be dark in here. The reason why it looks bright right now is because I have night vision. Make sure you placed all the water and scaffolding correctly. The water will push the mobs into the kill chamber. This is how dark it should normally be in here. I am now going to show you all how to use this mob and XP farm. To use it, first flick this lever up. Then stand over here. Mobs will spawn in the mob spawning layers. They'll then get pushed by the water into this kill chamber. In the kill chamber, they will get automatically killed by the trident killer. You will collect the XP over here. All the loot will get collected by the minecart with hopper, funneled into the hopper, and funneled into the collections chest. By the way, if you want to make this farm more efficient, you can hold a sword that is enchanted with looting 3. The looting 3 effect will be applied to the trident. This farm is a great easy way to get a ton of loot and XP. Whenever you're done using this farm, flick this lever down to shut the trident killer off. You can collect the loot down here. If you want to expand the collection system in this farm, first break this block. Then crouch down and place a hopper over here. Make sure that hopper is funneling downwards. Then crouch down and place 2 chests over here. If you want to expand the collection system even more, you can add more hoppers and chests. If this farm does not work for you, try switching your world difficulty to peaceful and then to hard. Also check to see if any mobs spawn below the farm when you stand on this platform. If there are, you should set your world simulation distance to 4 chunks. You can do that by leaving your world then going into the world settings. If you don't want to do that, another option is to light up the areas where mobs spawn below the farm while you stand up here with torches. I hope you all enjoyed learning how to make this simple and efficient automatic Minecraft Bedrock mob and XP farm. Please like, comment, subscribe, and check out my other Minecraft videos. Thanks for watching.